How is robotics in the UK and also in the University of Cranfield?
It was intense, but it was rewarding as well.
What are your future plans in the UK, like getting a job?
I would say
Hello everyone, we have Atharva Vatharkar who has done his MSc from Cranfield University. I will request Atharva to please introduce himself.
hi everyone. I'm Atharva, and thank you for the introduction, Aryan. It is a pleasure to be in this meeting and to guide students who are coming abroad. So I've done my master's in robotics from Cranfield University recently, and I'm currently working as a robotics engineer in UK.
Perfect, bro. That's really good because many of the students are interested into the robotics domain and also artificial intelligence side as well. But keeping robotics at the forefront, what do you think? Like, how is robotics in the UK and also in the University of Cranfield?
So, speaking about a broad perspective in terms of international perspective, I would say robotics is really emerging field right now in the entire world, as there are so many upgrades and stuff going on around the world. And speaking about Cranfield is a place where you get the industry exposure, what exactly you need in terms of getting yourself educated in the field of robotics.
So, how was your journey during the master's then? How did you make it happen?
I would say it was intense, but it was rewarding as well. During the first few months, I would say I was getting used to the new environment I was in, and then slowly I made it happen, and right now I'm here.
No. But during your masters, how did you manage all those things? Because doing a masters itself is a decision in terms of finance
Yeah.
and also to manage the things. It becomes hectic because we also have to manage our personal stuff with the studies at the same time. So is it very hard, or else if someone who is interested in masters, how will you recommend him for the master studies?
Let me start from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I mentioned earlier, I've done my robotics engineering master's, but I've done my bachelor's in electronics. And back in India, I was working as a IT engineer in a IT firm. But then suddenly it felt monotonous for me, and that was not it that I was interested. That was not the field I
Mm-hmm.
was interested in.
Right.
So then I decided of going forward with my childhood love, I would say, that is robotics. I've been fascinated with robotic stuff since childhood. Then I decided doing masters in robotics. I started searching for universities around the world and found Cranfield as the best place to study. And then I would say Cranfield is an industry-focused university which
Mm-hmm.
gives you the exposure related to the industries. And in terms of Cranfield, I would say it's not just a normal university where you study
Mm-hmm.
and learn things.
Right.
Since day one, Cranfield puts you in an exposure of real-world robotics projects. And they, just like in India, in UK, they don't have any sort of exams and stuff. Are given assignments.
Mhm.
We are given assignments that are related to real world projects and that help you understand, not just learn things.
That is actually good that we apply the things practically instead of just writing the exams and tests.
Exactly.
And how are the labs there? Like robotics labs, are there any quadruped robot or else something like that?
Cranfield has a really good lab. The day I first entered in the lab, I was really fascinated by the robots they have. So currently, I think they have different manipulators like UR3, UR10, and then they also have a quadruped robot called Go1, which is from
Mhm.
Unitary.
Oh, you also worked
It's
on
really
these robots?
during my master's thesis, I worked on Go2, which was not available at Cranfield, but as I said, Cranfield focuses on industry relations.
Mm.
So we had a tie-up with the company I'm currently working in, that I would cover later.
Okay.
But we had a tie with the company I'm currently working with, and then I worked with the Go to Robot Dog, which is the latest version of Unitary for my
Mhm.
thesis project.
That sounds interesting actually. And putting that
Yeah,
point aside for the technical stuff, we will discuss it later on. But how did you manage your
yeah,
finances? Because someone who is doing masters, let's say in the UK, so how he or she might
hmm,
manage his finances? Because the finance part is very important. Sometimes you also have to work
yes,
part-time.
definitely.
So is working part-time good in the UK because it is only 1 year program. So we have to focus on the studies as well as if someone who is facing some financial things, so we have to do the part-time work as well.
I would say UK is expensive, but not if you manage your budget properly and you
Okay.
prioritize things. Since day one, since the day you land here, you have to prioritize your budget. That is the most important thing. And in terms of working part-time, I would say that don't just come here and start searching for part-times. You should start searching for part-times, but you should not start working really early because during the first few months, from my experience, I prioritized it as a learning thing and then got myself into a routine of my academics. So I
Mm-hmm.
firstly managed my academics routine really well and then started working part times.
That sounds good because first of all we have to
Yeah.
get ourselves ready for the environment because it is not a different state. It is a whole new country that we are going
Ye-
to.
Exactly. And also, you have to manage your learnings and the things, the academics. That is the first and most priority that you have, even if you work part time. So you have to manage your time really well.
Right. So during the master's time, studying, doing the research work, technical things, the personal stuff, is the time enough, or do we also have to get some extra time for the skilling up? Because at the end, we want a job, I think so, because many of the students are interested into the job part as well. And as compared to the Indian colleges, those like the Indian colleges prefer the on-campus type of things, like companies come on the campus and students give interview. So till what I have studied in abroad, it doesn't happen like that, similar to our colleges.
Exactly.
So how you manage that particular part as well?
So, in terms of your initial question about managing time, I would say no time is enough. So you'll have to constantly keep, as in a technical field, you have to constantly keep yourself upgrading, as there are things that are going upgrade. There are things that are going to be upgraded in a day, or maybe there are
Hmm.
upgrades going on just in an hour. So you have to constantly keep yourself up to date according to the latest knowledge. And then in terms of placements, I would say in UK particularly, they don't have any placement things or any placement interviews going on in campus. They have things like
Hmm.
career fairs where different companies come and you have to pitch yourself to the employer as a good fit for the company.
Means the recruiters come on the campus and we have to reach
Yeah,
out to them.
you have to talk to them. It's kind of a networking event, and I would also cover that later on how network is important in after you
Hmm.
come in UK. And as I said, they have their booths in the career fairs. You have to go there, you have to talk with them, you have to pitch yourself as a good fit, and
Hmm.
then things go ahead.
That sounds good actually. It's kind of a networking event, as you said, and I just got
Exactly.
reminded of there is one concept like pitch inside the elevator. Sometimes we have some 20
Exactly.
seconds, so I think we should also
Yeah,
practice that, take a small pitch of ourselves where we can
exactly.
make ready and pitch to the recruiters at the time of the event.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like that. And then the companies come in, you have to give them your CV. Your CV is just literally your invitation card for them. So you have to build it really well. And as I speak about Cranfield, they have a really great career fairs and really great career support. They provide you with stuffs like career counseling, interview preparations, and then they also have mental counselings as well
Oh,
in case.
that is good. So one question was there from my side. We
Yeah.
have Cranfield, someone who is studying at Cranfield, let's say, for example, and he or she
Mm-hmm.
wants to explore the other universities at the same time, going to the labs of
Okay.
other universities. So is it allowed,
Mm-hmm.
or else we can't go to the other universities for the exploring part?
I would say you can go if there are opportunities. Like last year, the students from last year had an opportunity to visit the ABB labs that
Okay.
they have in UK and also meet Rishi Sunak as well
Oh, that
in
is cool.
there. And again, it's all about networking opportunities that the university gives you. So you'll have to always be prepared for that.
Right. That sounds good actually. And considering these scenarios, is UK good for masters compared to other countries, like talking about the return on investment part as well?
So that's a good question in terms of current scenarios. I would say UK is a good place to study if you come with a clear mindset that what you have to do in future and in terms of
Hmm.
what you're going to learn. So if you just come here by saying, I'll go and see what happens, or I'll just go for a vacation, it's not a good country for you. Because since day one, you have to be prepared for things. It's like stepping into a flame. You have
Hmm.
to be prepared, you have to be disciplined, and you have to step out of your comfort zone from day one. Yeah,
It seems actually a kind of good journey, like we have to go abroad and study, but
exactly.
I think it will take a lot of efforts at the same time if you want.
Exactly. It's rewarding, but at the same time, it gives you freedom. So you have to utilize it really well.
Hmm.
And you have to be your own driver because no one is really here to spoon feed you and stuff. Yeah.
Exactly,
You have
that
to
is.
manage your all things.
That is right. Because for the freedom, we have two sides. Either we can use it for our own good, or else we can use for exploring. That is not
Exactly.
good. Sorry, that is good. But still, at this particular time, it may not be good to invest in exploring the country.
If you are going to step in a different environment, if you're going to step in a environment which will help you grow, you have to be prepared for things that you have not prepared for.
Wow, that was
It's
good.
like a metaphor.
So I think it is also a kind of shaping of our personality as well, because we are able to meet new people,
Yes.
we are able to push ourselves beyond our limits, improve our communication,
Yes.
improve our overall personality, because it is a grooming
Yes.
kind of thing at the same time.
Exactly.
Wow.
I agree with your point.
Right. And talking about the job part now, like you are into a job in the UK, and most of the students dream about getting a job after going abroad. That might be any country, but currently we are talking about UK, so that's the reason. You have your own job. So how did you get it? What kind of things did you focus on? And how was your path and your special things that you applied?
So, speaking about the job, I would say again, it's all about networking. You have to build connections with the industry. And I would shortly tell you how I got this job in short. So, basically, I had my research thesis on a
Mhm.
robot dog called GoTo, which is from Unity.
Okay.
So, I was given the freedom by the university to choose a particular application. And then I thought of going with a application that is useful for public. So that's how I collaborated with the current company I'm working with. And then I started working on the robot dog, which was basically detection of anomaly detection of weeds and cracks on the pavement in the
Okay.
city. Exactly. So that's how I came in introduction with the company, and that's how I've started building my relations since from the first day of my thesis start, and then slowly that's how I got into this shop.
Perfect, bro. That is really cool. Because you identified a problem statement, then you contributed for the company, I think so, as an intern or else
Exactly.
just as a project.
It was just as a project in collaboration with Cranfield University and the company.
Mm,
So I would not say as an intern, but definitely a thesis project. So I was just utilizing the company's
mm,
resources for my thesis project.
right. Wow, that is good because many of the students wait for the internships. We are applying for the internships and not getting any. Instead of you focused on the company's problem and then you
Yes.
just contributed for it wisely, not just blindly to just get the project done and complete your thesis, but you added some value to the company. That's why you are getting the job, I think so. Because
Yeah.
just completing
Yeah.
that might not help you, but adding some value to the company. Everyone wants a person who can add value to the company.
I would say it's like you have to start building on real world projects even before you come here. So it's
Mhm.
like building your portfolio from start. After you come here, you will not get a chance to start from zero. So you have to do it even before you depart here.
So that is a very important point. Can you just let me know what are those projects, or else what might be those projects? Glimpse of it.
So I would say don't just focus on collecting certificates and stuff. You have to work with teams or maybe work on a individual research level projects or
Mm,
some AI projects that will help you get a broad perspective of the things that you are going to learn or that you are going to be part of in the university. Because in the UK universities, you will not get spoon-feeded or they will not chase you for anything. There are deadlines coming one after the other, so you have to always cope with the speed of them, and
mm,
then you have to get the stuff done before the deadlines. So you have to have at least a prior knowledge of things that you're going to learn.
that is actually I thought a bit it's very hard to get those deadlines because here in colleges sometimes we are not able to meet the deadline. We get some extensions. So is that the case
Yeah.
there, or else?
No, at least in Cranfield, you don't get extensions that easily. So you have to submit your stuff even before your deadline. And they
Okay,
take plagiarism really seriously. So you have to make sure that you reference everything and you have your stuff according to their standards.
that is actually very overwhelming for a person who is not very much
Ye-
technical, but still.
Yes.
So is the thesis very hard for masters, or else someone who is a beginner or else an intermediate level can also manage that?
I would say by the time you start working on thesis, you get at least a basic idea of things that you're going to work on or you're going to work with. So you get a basic idea of things. So then there are well experienced professors in Cranfield. There are your seniors who can help you with stuff that you don't know about. So it's gonna be a learning journey for you more than just completing your thesis.
It's a kind of practical applying thing rather than just.
Exactly. It's more about finding a solution for a problem that the company or that your exactly your problem statement, what you're
Hmm,
going to work on.
got
So
it.
it's not just about getting your thesis done or getting your certificates and stuff. You have to think of it as a new learning for you.
And for the master's part, are there any scholarships, especially fully funded, or else partial funding as well from the Cranfield University, or else if you need other from the UK, if you can specify?
So there are a lot of scholarships going on in the UK, but as I speak of Cranfield, they have partially funded scholarships. And again, you have to ask for
Mm,
it. They are not just going to say you that, "Hey, here is your scholarships and stuff." You have to ask for it if there are any scholarship based on your merits and stuff. So then only they'll provide you that.
right. So we should be independent. We should be able to mail the professors and ask the scholarships if we want. We should study the website properly, what is in the curriculum, who is teaching the curriculum,
Exactly.
similar stuff.
Exactly. And you have to study about the university's course curriculum really well because that is the main thing you're going to learn for the next 1 year. So you have to be specific on what things you are going to get from it and how it will help you in the future in terms of jobs in the UK or maybe anywhere else.
So like getting through the course curriculum, you also have to find what might be the good fit for the market in the UK before coming there.
Yes, exactly. And it's like, I would say you don't have to just focus on the rankings of the university. You
Mhm.
have to focus on the labs that they have, or maybe the industry connections that they have, the alumni outcomes that they have given in the past years. You shouldn't just focus on the rankings. You should focus
Okay,
on all these things to get a good university in the UK.
wow, that is right. And someone who is applying, when should they apply for the universities?
As soon as possible, I would say,
Okay,
because I understand the job market or the industry is getting really tough day by day, but it's not impossible. It's possible if you start managing things early and if you start prioritizing things early, maybe you will get things done quick.
right, got it. So, for the one more question was regarding the financial side of masters. So, students prefer
Yes.
education loan for the masters part and also to manage their finances. And after getting a job, it's good. After getting education loan, then getting a job, it's good to go for the masters. But someone who is just relying on the education loan and if they don't get a job, so at that particular point, is it the case that students also face these particular crises? Or else it doesn't happen likewise.
It totally depends on how you have planned things. So, in terms of education loans, you have to be extra prepared, I would say,
Okay,
because you have to be prepared for the installments that are going to come that are not low, but they are really high, I know. So, you have to be extra prepared for that. And then there are a lot of banks or there are a lot of private things
then
that give you the education loans. So you have to choose really carefully about the interest rates they are giving, their support, how are they
mhm,
giving it, and the stuffs that they are giving. So you have to go thoroughly with the agreements and with the things you sign on. So getting into the industry, your sign is the most important thing, I would say. So you have to use it very carefully.
why is it so? If I may ask, sign is very important.
I would say because there are a lot of things that get you bonded up afterwards.
Mm,
So you have to, as you said, there are a lot of students who face crisis
right,
afterwards.
right.
So why to get into trouble afterwards than to just manage it before and to get things very clearly. So I would say the way I did it is I took help from industry professionals. There are a lot of institutions that help you apply for these universities or apply for the document stuff. They manage all your stuff. So I like to give a shout out to Leverage Edu who helped
Okay.
me during my application process. So after you get sorted out with what university you have to go in, they'll help you in managing the documents, they'll help you in applying with these universities, they'll help you in managing all the financial aspects of it. So it's really a great thing you can take help. There are also a lot of other institutions that also help in this kind of stuff. But yeah, that is the one institution I took help with.
Wow, that is actually good. So if someone who is interested into the master's parts, they can also just join that particular consulting
Yeah.
or else the platform which Atharva recommended because his experience is good with that particular platform.
Because the thing is, in terms of applying with this kind of international universities, you have to be really specific and particular with your statement of purpose
Mm,
and the other documents. If you just make one mistake, that's gonna cost you not getting selected for the university. So you
mm.
have to be very careful while applying to these things.
Got it, bro. So
Yeah.
actually, we are almost done with the questions. But one of my question was regarding what are your future plans in the UK after getting a job? What are your future plans?
I would say creating impactful and really good getting a really good international experience here, and then working in this field in the future as well, in service robotics and stuff. I would really like to work on it with.
That's great, really great, because you have a good vision for robotics, and especially whenever we are passionate for a particular field, we make it very easily but smartly at the same time.
It's about all about managing and planning the stuff very smart, as you said,
Mm,
because if you just go, I'll go with the flow, and that's not gonna happen here.
right.
You'll be amazed to see new challenges coming in, new different challenges coming in every day. So you have to be prepared for that.
Okay, right. So, any kind of final advice to the audience who is watching this particular podcast?
I would say very important advice. Biggest advice I can say is you should not have studying abroad as your goal if you just want to run away to a new country and or be on a vacation. You will think that I'll be in a new country for a vacation. It's about stepping into your higher version and building yourself day by day with different things. And I would say don't just wait to feel fully ready. You have to start building from day one. You have to start learning from day one. You have to start taking initiative from day one or even before you arrive. It's
Mm,
all about skills, mindset, adaptability that will definitely define your journey. And once you're here, just stay curious, stay disciplined, and start building your network from day one. If I could do it, definitely more students can do it.
that's true. Yes, Atharva, thanks a lot for joining here and sharing your valuable experience and taking your time as well at the same time from your hectic schedule and
Thank
contributing
you.
and helping the audience at the same time. I will add Atharva's link in the description, his LinkedIn profile link, so that you guys can get connected with him as well.
Thank you so much, Aryan, for having me. It was really a pleasure to talking with you. There are lots of stuff that we can talk about in terms of UK and the journey over here. So if anyone wants to connect with me and have a chat about different things, or you have any questions, you can just ping me on LinkedIn.
So definitely. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Thank you.